My name's Donna Husted, and I'm a parent of 2 boys that went to Undercroft. One has already graduated, and one is in 5th grade. We've been here for 6 years, and the reason I came to Undercroft was my boys were just not happy. I know they both like to learn, but the schools that they were attending seemed to dampen their enthusiasm to want to learn. I used to teach myself, and I'd heard about Montessori, and in fact I had had some Montessori students in my kindergarten classroom or my 1st grade classroom, and I noticed that they didn't do what everybody else did. Didn't know much about it, but always knew that they were the challenging ones because I had to provide work for them that was extra. So I went and observed, and I was blown away. The kids seemed to enjoy being there. They weren't at all thrown off by the fact that I was walking around in the classroom. There was just they all just really liked being here. And I especially enjoyed when I asked one of the teachers, well, I'm a little bit worried, my child has some special needs, and explained them to her. And her reaction was, everyone's treated individually, it doesn't really matter, and I thought, is she sure? Is she going to be able to modify for my child? And she just said, oh, we modify for everybody. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is where we need to be. And sure enough, Mick fit right in. I mean, they accepted him for who he was. The teachers accepted him for who he was, and we just couldn't be happier. I loved the idea that Mick was in the same classroom for 3 years. Still got to meet, new kids, but stay with the same teacher. That did wonders for his stress level, and ours. I used to teach school, and that was my largest complaint, was the transitions you would have to go through just to get to what you needed to do, and that was to teach the kids. We'd be sitting at the dinner table, and one of them would start a conversation about what they're doing in class. I wouldn't even have to ask them, and then the whole family would join in, and it was kind of neat because whatever Mick would bring up, Dan was sort of studying at the same time, not quite as in depth, but he felt like, ooh, I'm doing about the same thing my big brother's doing too. They tell you a fact that they're pretty sure you don't know, and I usually didn't, about what they had just learned. A family that's looking for a school should definitely observe and consider Undercroft. It becomes like a whole way of life, the fact that they own their work. It's not the teacher telling them they should do this, because of course we don't have teachers, we have guides. It's their work. And they'll tell you, how much work they may have, and I'm not sure I'm going to meet my goals and all that, but at the same time, it's important to me that they understand they're learning for themselves, not for the teacher, not for a grade. That's another thing I didn't think of. When my older one went into high school, he had never had a grade, ever. And in this last high school experience, he volunteered for some extra work, and the teacher said, you don't need to have any extra work, you've already got an A, solid A. And he's like, but I want to, and that was just the way it was, not at Undercroft. He wanted to do the work because he enjoyed it. Undercroft is special because of the guides, and because they're so dedicated, and they really, really care. It amazes me. I don't know how they have time left for their families when they go home. And as a substitute teacher, I get to see that. I wish every parent got a chance to sub, because it's just amazing. It's amazing what they know. They know where every kid is at and what they need to go to next. And it's tiring. I mean, true dedication. They just love their kids, and they believe in the Montessori philosophy. That's what I like, is they stick to it too.